AITA tension after my father passed away, and I had to leave 36 hours later because of my in-laws. In-laws stayed with my wife and me for 3 weeks to watch our toddler, while my wife and I were in the hospital having our second dot near the end of their visit. My dad unexpectedly became very ill, so I had to fly home to be with him. My mill promised she, if not also, my Phil would stay a few days extra, no cost to them as they were staying with us. She's retired and has no obligations for months. Sadly, my dad passed away the first day I was back home, and later that day, I was told my in-laws couldn't extend their stay. They had zero reason other than they telling my wife they were tired, as though I wasn't after caring for a newborn and watching my dad die and wanted to go home. They haven't explained it to me or apologized for this. As a result, I had to leave my hometown and grieving mother just 36 hours after my dad passed. I had to care for a newborn and toddler while still in complete shock and utter exhaustion so my in-laws could go back to their cushy life. They want to come visit in less than a month. And when I told my wife I'm not comfortable with that, given what they did, my wife said it made her uncomfortable and overwhelmed. She agrees what they did was awful, but won't say anything about it to them, and expects me to just accept them visiting, despite how I feel. AITA, if I set a boundary and insist I'm not comfortable with them coming so soon, or perhaps even just until we have a conversation, it's not just that they left me high and dry when I needed them most. It's that they didn't even reach out to me to explain or apologize. I'm just very hurt and very angry. Edit to clarify that they did not stay extra days. They left on their initially scheduled flight after telling me they'd push it back. Additionally, my wife was less than 2 weeks removed from a C-section when I left and physically incapable of caring for a toddler and infant. So I had no choice but to come back. The only time my in-laws were primary caretakers of my toddler was the 3 days my wife and I were in the hospital. Otherwise, I primarily watched the toddler. Comment 1 NTA.NT. Since wife won't say anything, you will have to, because their behavior was absolutely atrocious. A quick hey mill. Phil, I heard you were planning on visiting. Well, that won't work for us right now. With the birth of our second child and my father's passing, we are not up for visits nor hosting. Asterisk, asterisk, comment to asterisk, I would be much more overt. Frankly, you and your wife can face this head on and tell them that they hurt you, or this can loom over the next 20 years of your life. Hi, Ills. I am grieving the recent and sudden loss of my father. I'm also deeply hurt by cruel treatment following his death, abandoning your daughter in her time of need, and forcing me to abandon my mother during the worst days of her life. I am not comfortable having you in my home at this time. I am surprised. Your wife is not more angry at her parents. They abandoned her. She was alone with a newborn baby and a toddler healing from a C-section. Best case scenario, her husband would return absolutely emotionally devastated and barely functional. That's what they chose for her, to put her through undue stress and push her and her spouse to exhaustion. And obviously nobody has to do anything for anyone else, but I have a hard time imagining anyone I'm close to abandoning me in that moment, let alone my in-laws. Asterisk, asterisk, comment 3, asterisk NTA. To be completely honest, people who are that inconsiderate of what is one of the highest traumas of almost everybody's lives, they're not family. They don't love you. Anybody who doesn't respect the parents shouldn't see the child. Edit. Since so many people are so hell-bent on the wife being TA and insist that they don't need to do one single Google search to see that postpartum symptoms can last well beyond 3 weeks, and that 3 weeks is not a very long time post-birth. I did the bare minimum effort for you. Here you go. Postpartum symptoms can last from a few days to several years, depending on the condition. The baby blues, characterized by mood swings and anxiety, usually resolve within 2 weeks. However, postpartum depression, PPD, can begin weeks or months after birth and without treatment can persist for months or even years. Some studies show that PPD can last up to 3 years, with a significant portion of mothers experiencing symptoms throughout this period. Comment for NTA. I'm so sorry for your loss. I cannot imagine the mix of emotions in such a short period of time. While I'm an advocate of the child deals with the parents, I think you're more than fair in sending a text to your in-laws saying, "Hey, I was really disappointed and hurt that after you said you would stay and help us with our kids when my dad died, you changed your mind and left. You're adults and I respect your autonomy, but I expect the same courtesy to now be extended to me. I am not at a place emotionally where I want to host or visit with you. Hopefully, down the line, we can mend our relationship, but currently I'm still feeling very betrayed and abandoned by family when we needed help the most. I'm sorry if this message has hurt you. That is not my intent. But if we are to mend this relationship in the future, an honest conversation will need to be had. Comment 5 NTA. What they did wasn't just done to you. You had to leave your mom, your wife, had to deal with a grieving husband after giving birth while having a toddler around. Your toddler had a parent around who needed to be elsewhere and was probably in shock. Your newborn had parents who were dealing with stuff with no help and who were overwhelmed. Your in-laws are beyond awful, and I personally would put my foot down against any visits for a long while. Comment 6 first. I'm so sorry for your loss. That, on top of the joy of a new baby, has got to be exhausting and emotionally confusing, draining. Second, this is your home too. You are actively grieving and caring for a newborn on top of everything else. If they want to visit, sure, let them. But they should stay at a hotel Airbnb, not your home. They've got some gall, though. You need sanctuary more than they need to visit. You are NTA for drawing reasonable boundaries to protect your much-needed recovery time. After all, I bet you're too tired for visitors anyway. Comment 7 NTA. I wouldn't let them step foot in my house if I were you. They offered something to help in an extremely difficult time, only to rescind it because shrugs nah. That's the kind thing that kills a relationship. Your wife seems very browbeaten by them. I suspect she's used to them behaving selfishly and expecting others to put up with them. I wouldn't be able to look at my partner in the same way if they tried to downplay this or otherwise rug sweep. It makes sure your wife is on your side. Then tell them no and explain why. Their reaction will decide the rest. Comment 8 You are not wrong for feeling hurt and angry. What they did was selfish and dismissive at a time when you needed support the most, and the lack of apology only makes it worse. Setting a boundary until there is an honest conversation and acknowledgement is completely fair. You are allowed to protect your peace and your grieving process, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Comment 9 NTA. Tell her the day they show up is the day you leave to go fishing. You will return when they leave. Her parents, her responsibility, and turn the guest room they use into an office and get rid of any bed but your kids and your own. Offer them a blow-up mattress in the garage. That's what they deserve. Comment 10 NTA. But please add to your post that your wife had a C-section. I know it shouldn't matter, but I think for context here it is important. You'd be NTA in my book, no matter what, because I've birthed 2 kids and I actually understand a bit of what your wife would have been going through with just a typical birth. That said, your wife had a C-section and there was no way she could care for both kids on her own, and they knew that and still left their daughter in the lurch. You may need space from them for a while, and honestly, you have every right to take that space. For folks who don't seem to get it, after a C-section, you cannot carry your baby. At 2 weeks out, his wife was cleared for light walking and lifting. Nothing heavier than their newborn, and that's only if her body healed enough to do so. Also, if she was still on painkillers, she would not have been able to drive yet. During a C-section, they are getting through multiple layers of your flesh to get that child out. It's trauma to your body and a major surgery. Her parents knew this, told Opie they'd stay, and then not even 2 days later decided they needed to leave. That is unacceptable, disgusting behavior. Comment 11, NTA. What kind of parents abandon their kid when they actually need them? By leaving, they essentially abandoned their daughter when she was so vulnerable. In my culture, the family is expected to pitch in. It was a very awful situation, and for you to decide whom to prioritize, along with handling your emotions, must be very overwhelming. If you don't want to invite them to your home, do not invite them. Comment 12 NTA. However, now you know you cannot ever count on them in an emergency. We found out the hard way with ours as well. So when they really screwed us over one time, we just went, this is the last time we're asking them for any help, and we never asked for help normally. We really needed assistance, and we wanted their help, but they said they would, and then they yanked the rug out from under us. So some people only care about themselves, and it already hurt for us. A relationship that was not super great as it was. We tolerated them, and my husband wouldn't cut them off ever, but severely limited their visitation.